The Mandela family is known for its activism, but they're also making a name for themselves in the wine business with their own wine label, the House of Mandela. Nelson Mandela's granddaughter, Tukwini Mandela, is here to discuss their wine business. Welcome to you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, and thank you for having me.
Yes. The business launched about 2 years ago,
Yeah.
correct? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
What sort of lessons have you learned since?
I mean, that the wine industry is not as glamorous as everybody thinks it is. You know, there's a lot of work and thought and planning that goes into it. My mom and I sort of jumped with both feet in. We're very involved in the business. I run the business on a day-to-day business. And I think there's any challenge, you know, we experience the same challenges that any new business would experience. We're in 15 markets now. We've expanded very quickly.
You said 50?
15.
15, okay.
Yeah.
Globally?
Globally. We've expanded faster than we thought we would. So, you know, it's all about managing the business on a day-to-day basis. That's quite a challenge. You know, finding the correct wines for the correct markets, making sure that the story links into the wines and the labeling and all of those things. So, you know, it's all the administrative stuff and, you know, making sure that you're in contact with your suppliers and your customers and, you know, and making sure that everybody has everything that they have in order to make the wine successful. So it's been quite a challenge for us, but it's been a good challenge. And
you're involved in the winemaking process, which is pretty cool. How did you get your training in that? How do you learn to
Well, I went to work for a vineyard. Actually, I went to work in the cellar because when we started with the business, I didn't necessarily know anything about the art of winemaking. So I spoke to Charles Beck, who we deal with some of the wines, who produces some of the wines for us at Fairview. And I said to him, look, I want to come and learn how it's done. And he said, well, I'm not going to put you in the marketing department because that would be very easy for you. You have a marketing background, so I'm going to put you in the cellar. Okay.
And this is a female-led company. Are there more opportunities for entrepreneurship for females in South Africa?
Look, the wine industry is very difficult for black women in general. There are very few black women in the wine industry. I can count them on my hand. It's very capital intensive. But we are encouraging more young black people to enter the wine industry. You know, not everybody can be a scientist or a doctor. Mm-hmm. You know, the wine industry in South Africa employs about 320,000 people, and the majority of those people are black. So, but they're not necessarily owners of wine businesses. So,
are there women in the business that are not black, or?
There are women in the business that are not black, but there are a few women who are black who are in the wine industry, and it's a struggle, you know. Mm-hmm. But you know, we are pushing through, and we are making the best of it.
All right. And how receptive is South Africa to small businesses?
It's actually a very good market for small businesses. I think there's a lot of, you know, South Africans have a huge entrepreneurial spirit. I know a lot of my friends who graduated with me and they work for themselves. And I think that, you know, it's fertile ground for starting your own business. And the time actually to start your own business in South Africa is now. That opportunity might not be available to young, you know, black people in 10 years' time. Mm-hmm. So I think that, you know, people are taking advantage of the environment in the political and economic climate that we operate in. It's still stable. It's still good. So, you know, there's a lot of opportunity for young people in general in South Africa to start their own businesses.
What are your long-term goals for this business?
Our long-term goal for this business is to be obviously open up more markets, but and our other long-term goal is to be a 100,000 case business in a few years. So it's a very lofty goal, but we're working very hard towards it.
Okay, well, it's sitting right here. I really want to try it. So let's jump right in.
So we have a new tier that we've just added to our portfolio. It's called Deep River. Mm-hmm. So it's a selection of blends. So this is a Cabernet Merlot, and then we have a Chenin Blanc Chardonnay. Okay. And Chenin Blanc is a quintessentially South African grape, so I'd actually like you to taste the Chenin Blanc.
Okay.
Tell me what you think.
Let's crack it open. I know Nelson Mandela liked dessert wines too, right?
He did. He really, really enjoyed them. So.
Thank you.
There you go. Cheers.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Very good. All right. Well, thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much for having me.
And I hope you leave this here.
I'm definitely going to leave this here.
Thanks a lot.